I'm Ben Winslow on Utah's Capitol Hill. The proposal to sell 11,000 acres of public lands in southern Utah was abruptly stripped out of the big, beautiful bill. So what happens next?
Just like there was a big, beautiful bill, this was a big, beautiful request of items that we have.
With the House's passage of the big, beautiful bill, Congresswoman Celeste Maloy's proposal to sell 11,000 acres of federal lands in southern Utah was suddenly cut out by House Republican leaders.
I know that there's been a lot of focus on the 11,000 acres, but in reality, what people need to know is that those acres is not in one big block. It's mostly roadways, transportation, future pipelines, and a small amount of recreation trail areas.
Congresswoman Malloy's proposal was heavily backed by the city of St. George and Washington County, who argued it would help them deal with growth issues. In a statement, the city of St. George says it's disappointed that some groups falsely presented this amendment as if it were a land grab. In actuality, the amendment was intended to protect existing critical infrastructure or future critical infrastructure that would be built on already disturbed public lands. Only approximately 9 acres would have been used for attainable housing at a spot adjacent to a future cemetery and an existing residential subdivision.
We're thrilled with the outcome. This was a deeply unpopular effort by Representative Malloy to facilitate the sale of more than 11,000 acres of federal public lands in Utah. Lands adjacent to Zion Park, lands popular for recreation.
The Southern Utah Wilderness Alliance is among a number of conservation groups that fought the land sale idea. Interestingly, one of those who pushed to defeat it was Republican Montana Congressman Ryan Zinci, who was President Trump's Interior Secretary during his first term. In a statement, Zinci defended his opposition to the sale of public lands, saying, "Once the land is sold, we will never get it back. God isn't creating more land."
Representative Zinci, when he served as Interior Secretary, did some real damage to federal lands in Utah and across the nation. Maybe this will be the first step in a redemption tour.
But it's not over yet. The Senate could resurrect it.
Senator Lee's the chair of Senate Environment and Natural Resources Committee. He's an unabashed opponent of federal lands in Utah. He could make another run at this, and we're obviously watching for that, and we'll be ready to swing into action.
Commissioner Iverson says they will adapt.
The Congresswoman was just trying to help us have a tool in our toolbox, and she's actually done a great job by raising the issue and helping people appreciate and understand the complexity of federal ownership in the West.
Now, in a statement to Fox 13 News, Congresswoman Malloy says, "I worked hard with my colleagues in the House and locally elected officials to make sure that the one big, beautiful bill represented the unique needs of Utahns. My lands amendment would have delivered critical relief to fast-growing communities in my district. Ultimately, it was removed from the reconciliation package. I still supported the bill because it delivers a strong economy that will benefit Utah and the country as a whole. I will continue to fight for Utahns to responsibly manage federal lands that currently landlock our communities and hinder economic growth." On the Hill, Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.